Fantasy Flight's award-winning lineup just got bigger with tons of great announcements here at GenCon 2014. This weekend they especially announced several exciting products for the X-Wing line, as well as other Star Wars titles to come. Hey guys, this is GenCon Day 4. Dalton here with NerdyRaptor and Anton, who is the International Marketing Manager, not coordinator, for Fantasy Flight Games, and we're just here to talk about all the exciting new product you guys have out. I mean, you've got, just to name the few, is The Witcher,
sure.
XCOM.
Well, let's just dive in. I mean,
all right, let's go.
Not even burn time. There's a lot going on at Gen Con every year, not only at FFG's booth, but all around. The hall is bigger than ever. They actually grew the exhibition hall. So if you're here or you were here, I'm excited for you. There's more to see and do than ever before. Fantasy Flight Games chose this year to demo a number of titles that were recently announced, like XCOM the board game. It's the first board game with which we've digitally integrated an app that is essential. It's going to be a free download. People are demoing it here. It's cooperative from 1 to 4 players, and the game experience is really tense and exciting, and you'll be laughing, but there's cards and dice trying to save the world against an alien invasion. So that's super cool and novel and unique, and that's been exciting. But then Star Wars, we had a number of Star Wars announcements before Gen Con. Star Wars Armada. Star Wars Armada is a tactical fleet battle game. It is in the Star Wars universe, but you're flying capital ships. You're flying fleets of capital ships. You're flying, scores of squadrons of small starfighters instead of just the dogfight style game that is X-Wing. So have you played X-Wing? I
love X-Wing. It's as anyone on the site can tell, well, anyone, we have so much coverage. I've been playing miniatures games for years, and X-Wing has taken all of my focus from all the other ones.
Awesome. So it is a dog fighting skirmish game, pre-painted minis, really beautiful sculpts. Star Wars Armada has pre-painted capital ships. So you're going to see Star Destroyers, you're going to see the Corellian Corvette, though, as a small mini on the table. And again, dozens of squadrons of small starfighters. We announced the whole first wave of releases. So we've got now the Assault Frigate, which is a heavy combat ship for the Rebels, and then the Gladiator class Star Destroyer, which is a small, nimble Imperial ship, and then the squadron packs for both Rebels and Imperial. So right out of the gate, early 2015, you're going to have multiple Star Destroyers, multiple ships, A-Wings, B-Wings, TIE Defenders, TIE Interceptors flying around.
That was one of the really cool things about the fighter packs, is because it wasn't just one type of fighter. You're going to be able to truly buy those and okay, well, an A-Wings, X-Wings, Defenders, Interceptors, that's all
4 different types of ships and 2 of each. So they're going to be 8 squadrons in each. What is really exciting about Armada is the feeling that you get when you play. It is very tactical, and as a strategic, there's elements of strategy and tactics, but it plays longer and deeper than X-Wing. It isn't a skirmish, it isn't a light dogfighting game. You're really planning crews of hundreds of individuals and trying to get your large ships to maneuver into broadside other ships or whatever's going on. It's crazy, it's awesome. Early 2015. We've announced at the show, then on Friday, we announced Star Wars Imperial Assault. Imperial Assault is 1 Imperial player versus several Rebel players. Missions and campaign mode, you'll have several missions that are interlinked over tile sets, both indoor and outdoor tiles. It's the core of Descent, right? This tactical minis game in the Star Wars universe.
Right.
So you've got Wookiees and bounty hunters and probe droids and Imperial officers and, of course, squads of stormtroopers.
Vader.
Darth Vader's in the box, and there's this awesome AT-ST that is in the box well. Luke Skywalker is going to be in the box. All this awesome experience and all this narrative gameplay. But also in this it's a giant box like this deep, there's a second rule set, which is the skirmish mode.
Right.
So you're given an equal number of points, and you and one other player will then customize a squad of units. You put out a scenario map, and then you scrap it out in pure skirmish mode. So you get the tactical minis game that doesn't have the story. You have the campaign mode with the story mode that's going to be unlocked as the Rebels are surprised time and time again by the nefarious doings of the Imperial player. Super awesome. Early 2015. And that was a surprise. People are actually playing it here.
And you were saying as well at the in-flight that you're going to do the organized play kits for it as well to kind of support, will that supplement both the competitive and the cooperative aspects of it?
So no, the organized play for Imperial Assault is going to focus on the skirmish mode.
Okay.
Right? Lots of minis players and card gamers of all types, they understand that the two-player head-to-head is a really excellent environment in which to compete against another player when you're given flexibility like that. So we're going to support Imperial Assault's skirmish mode with full OP. We're going to support Star Wars Armada with full OP as well. This really epic 2-hour game is going to have OP. You'll see that next year. We are super excited about it to play in that world. And then talking about cards for a second, this isn't OP related, but the Lord of the Rings, the card game.
Yes.
Lord of the Rings, the card game, I know is something you enjoy. And what we did with the living card game, this ever-growing, expanding, cooperative card game experience, is we explored new tales in Middle-earth. So for the first couple of years, the scenarios, the adventures that upon which you would go, were not tied to the canon. They were tied to the setting, but they weren't retelling stories.
Right.
Right. So adventure pack after adventure pack and deluxe expansion after deluxe expansion would just forge new paths and let you explore that really rich environment. We then decided that people wanted to relive some of the seminal stories. So the saga expansions, anything that is marked as a saga expansion, retells stories that you know. We began with The Hobbit, with Overhill and Underhill. And then you could then play through the experiences of The Hobbit. Then we began with the Black Riders, began to dip into the Lord of the Rings. And and now we announced the new saga expansion, which is called Treason of Saruman, and branches away from the Hobbits. The stories so far, the saga expansions, have focused on the Hobbits and Bilbo and Frodo, but now we're looking at the first break in the Fellowship. So we are now going to follow Aragorn as Aragorn attempts to get more allies and spread the word about the evil of Sauron and what the darkness that is coming to Middle-earth. In addition, the deluxe expansion that is not tied to the books is called Angmar, is the Lost Realm. It begins the Angmar Awakened cycle, which these are the new tales, right? Not the book related tales, and that's you're gonna go to Angmar, right? This is not a pleasant place. No. This is a dark and evil place.
This is where the Witch King comes from, and all that.
This is where the Witch King comes from. So players will now dive in deep into really expose new areas in the land of Middle-earth. And we'll see that in early 2015.
And just to touch back to Star Wars, because there's so much there, but with the RPG, we saw the beta release for Forces and Destiny, which is...
Force and Destiny beta was released here and sold out. So.
Which is the third set of the Star Wars RPGs you guys have done, which is a very cool RPG. If you guys haven't ever played an RPG before, it's a very good one to play. It's a very narrative feel. And it's Star Wars, and there's all the options in the world for it. And to stay on target, I guess, with Star Wars, with X-Wing, you guys announced Wave 6, a completely new faction.
So what we did, people have grown used to releasing a wave of products. We debuted Wave 5 here, so the Decimator and the YT-2400 debuted for sale here and then sold out. But we announced Wave 6, and for Wave 6, a brand new faction. There will be 3 factions now. 3 fully playable factions for Star Wars X-Wing, and this is the Scum and Villainy faction.
Yes.
We're talking bounty hunters, we're talking the Boba Fett will make an appearance. So what we're doing is one box set called Most Wanted. Most Wanted will have an alternate paint Y-Wing and 2 Z95 headhunters. And then that box includes the tokens, the punch board, and the cards, the pilot cards that you will need to convert your existing Slave 1, Y-Wings, and the Hawk 290 to fly for Scum and Villainy faction. So brand new pilot cards, upgrade cards, all that jazz. Super cool. It's going to shake the meta up in ways that people have no idea yet. In addition, though, 3 brand new ships. The IG-2000 is IG-88's ship. IG-88 is that evil droid bounty hunter, so that is in the game when this releases. In addition, the Star Viper, which is also known as the Virago, and a small Sikh fighter. It's the M3A Interceptor. So again, all pre-painted, beautiful ships.
Oh, yeah.
We're displaying them at Gen Con. You'll see them online in the coming weeks, and we'll be spoiling more and more details.
Right. And also, just before we get off of X-Wing, you guys are doing the application for it as well, which I know a lot of people, especially on iOS, they've been clamoring for it.
Sure. So X-Wing Mission Command, we have been working in the back in the office. We got lots of things in the works all the time, but we wanted to give people a way to track not only the items that they owned with its associated upgrade cards, but then give you the interface so that you can build squadrons, build fleets, and build missions and share them with the world. So you're going to be able to establish missions of your own, broadcast them on our website. It's totally free.
Wow.
And will be coming later this year.
Alrighty.
So look for that.
Well, guys, that's all the time for now with Anton. Once again, thank you very much.
Thanks, Dalton.
So much great product from Fantasy Flight. We didn't even mention some of it, but it is a very, very exciting time to be Fantasy Flight or a fan of their games, basically.
Check the website, fantasyflightgames.com.